Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
In the name of God.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to be here in Fas and thank our dear friend, the chairman of this organization, for the invitation to participate in this very important meeting and to congratulate the organizers for the important document they are producing as a contribution to the global efforts to highlight peace and for the human beings, the human race, to move on. As many of our colleagues start their talk by reciting Al-Quran, as did my dear friend Ismail Saraguddin this morning, I would also do the same and recite a very short version of the Quran that has to do with our work. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. وَلَقَدْ كَرَّمْنَا بَنِي آدَمَ. We have honored human beings. Al-Islam, Al-Quran, considered the dignity of the human being as an intrinsic element. It goes with the existence of the human being, not separate. That is why when Al-KARAMAH, this organization, Al-KARAMAH in Arabic, dignity in English, underline this important point, dignity. It is so important to support, to salute, and to guarantee that human beings, wherever they are, whomever they are, must enjoy dignity. It is not reserved for a race and not for the other. Dignity for all human beings. I must say that the issue of soft power is a highly important basic point in building the new era of international relations. Soft power proved to be a decisive element in building the personality of great states. The United States of America, the superpower of our era, did not base its greatness only on the Sixth Fleet or the intercontinental rockets. The greatness of the United States, this powerful attraction of the United States system, was based on what Harvard and Yale and other institutions, education institutions, offered to human beings, Americans and others. Not only Harvard and Yale and Washington, etc., but also the arts, Hollywood, NASA, the music, the art, the books, the history. The US, the United States, has offered us a major challenge, pushing for more understanding through arts, through literature, and through education. We hope that this will continue. We differ on certain points, but one has, when we talk about soft power, we have to mention that the greatness of the superpower of our era is based on the soft power rather than on the rough one. The same could be said, could be mentioned about the role of important countries in their regions. I would refer to Egypt and its prominent role in the Arab world. It didn't come through coercion, but through the power of the soft side of the démarche or the march of the civilizations. The Egyptian role in the Arab world through the music, books, education, history, Kulthum, Abd al-Halim Hafiz, Naguib Mahfouz, the other Nobel laureates. This is the power to reckon with. This is the power that attracts, not coercion, not through force, but through what civilization has given us in order for all of us to ponder, to think, and to enjoy. Not only the superpower, speaking about its authority, its special place in the world, or regional powers, like Egypt, as I have said, and Morocco. The issues that are being discussed in forums like this one, Al-KARAMAH, and as I said, KARAMAH means dignity, and Midday, Asila, the agendas of the issues that are very important for us as human beings to sit and discuss, talk together, how to move on. Morocco is really contributing very richly to this process of building the future of human beings. I was impressed by the declaration announced to us yesterday. I agree with the spirit and the direction of that declaration. Speaking about multilateralism and the state of affairs of the current world situation and the role of the multilateral organizations, namely the UN, but also the rest, European Union, African Union, Arab League, American organization, and so on. In my opinion, this system, UN system, San Francisco Declaration, and also the establishment of the economic organization, the World Bank, and other similar ones, they have done a good job. They did not fail. Ask the developing nations what the WHO, the FAO, the World Food Program, the UN economic institutions, what have they done? UNICEF, for example, for the children in Africa. The system has done a good work. The system has not failed. What failed is the international security system, but not the whole system. The whole system needs renewal, reformulation perhaps, injection of new ideas, organizing the new issues of the 21st century. But grosso modo, multilateralism has succeeded and has to stay. In a new version, why not? Or new is not an accurate expression, but a renovated system, and that is important. But I believe that we shouldn't start from the standpoint that we have failed, but from the standpoint that we have succeeded, we need to succeed, and that is why we want to reform the system that really needs reform. Here we agree. Universal human rights, preservation of the human rights dignity, the human dignity. And this is something for all to enjoy. There can be no discrimination here. There can no difference of or degrees of respect for human rights, human beings. That is why I believe that the document that has been declared yesterday, announced yesterday, is a good step in addition to the existing human rights basic documents. Charter, Universal Declaration of Human Rights, economic rights, political rights, social rights, and all the rights that human beings should enjoy. Cultural pluralism. I happen to chair the advisory board of the program for the negotiations under the auspices of the Secretary General of the UN and the High Representative for Dialogue Among Civilizations. We need to bring civilizations together. We should not accept any expression saying that we are going to destroy this or that civilization. No. All civilizations must continue, must get together, must build for a better future. And here, we can, as human beings, belonging to several different but complementing civilizations, we have to congratulate ourselves for the latest initiative reaching the moon that the United States has done. This is not only something good for America, but for all of us. And that is why preserving civilizations on Earth, it is incumbent on all of us, and to preserve them, to promote them, not to destroy any of them. On the declaration that we must thank our colleagues here for drafting, I really consider it as part of efforts supporting the basic declarations on the issue and bringing the voice, the feeling, the sentiment of the 21st century to be added within the larger framework that human rights is our human rights, every person's human rights, every nation human rights, and this is good to work together to achieve. So I believe here, and those are just observations, that the relationship of this declaration to the existing human documents, human rights documents, or instruments, will have to be underlined. This is not a separate way in talking about or defending or promoting human rights. It is part and parcel of the common efforts that have been built since World War II to underline the importance of the basic rights of man and woman, of the human being. Then we have to be clear. The meaning of the planetary dignity, what does it mean? What does it mean exactly? Not that it is not understood, but it has to be underlined and put in the right perspective. Planetary dignity. Vis-a-vis whom? And what does it mean if it is not the full implementation of the existing instruments in the field of human rights? This has to be underlined. Also, when we talk about the future of human beings, the power of the soft power and its weight in making our present and preparing for our future, we have to be explicit. We do not accept racial discrimination. We do not accept religious intolerance. We cannot accept wars of destruction or addressing certain race or certain people, as we have seen in Auschwitz or in Gaza. We have to be clear that we are going to work very clearly to defend the oppressed peoples present. Big words, well-drafted sentences are not enough. We have to refer to the major problems that are really challenging our existence, our present and our future. The right to decide your own future. The elements of dignity of the human being. The notion that people are living under foreign military occupation, which is a major violation of the basic rights of person, of man and woman. We should not shy from mentioning what should be mentioned. We are preparing for a better future. So we have to say in this declaration or about this declaration that we stand together to promote the security of the human being, be him or her human being, Palestinian or Israeli, Muslim, Christian or a Jew. This is the moment to say it. Don't shy. This is what we should address bravely and together. Not in favor of this or that culture, but to bring all those cultures together. The world is witnessing or waiting for a certain period of time this year of elections. American elections, Israeli elections, and I call on the Palestinians to insist to run their own elections and elect what they want to lead them in the next phase of their work to achieve their future and to determine their future. We have to say that. The international civil society, of which we are all members, will have to stand firm and say, yes, states have their differences and agreements that states governments. But we, the international civil society world, we have something to say. And here, we should not just resort to vagueness in order to save our skins. No, we have to say it as it should be said. In as much as we want an Israel to live in peace in the region, we want the Palestinians to have their future state. When we talk about Iran and its nuclear arms, although still in the making, we call on Iran. You don't have to go that way. You don't need the nuclear arms, but you have to tell Israel the same. Iran should not be armed by nuclear weapons, but also Israel. Why not? We have to be brave, we have to talk, we have to say it as it must be said in order to make this declaration a viable document. Generalities would not help. Precision is needed. Examples should be mentioned. Calls for a different future should be always underlined. We are in the midst of a major crisis in the world, major crisis. But the world is changing, no question. What will follow, the war in the Gulf, Arab Gulf or Persian Gulf, whatever you want to call it, will not be the same as before. The Middle East will not be the same as before. The world will not be the same as before. See Europe, see Asia, see Latin America, see Africa. We are moving into a different world, and very quickly. We don't want to get with the wrong step. It has to be the right step. That the world we want to build will be much better than the one we lived in. Our grandparents lived the First World War. Parents lived the Second World War. We lived the Cold War. And we and our sons and grandsons are now witnessing a world that might be crumbling. Our duty, our responsibility as civil society is to help prevent the world from going down the drain. It is our responsibility, and responsibility brings with it brave positions. We have to talk and say it as it should be said. All of us have to live. Not all of us minus one. Not all of us minus two. No, all of us have to live. And with this, I again wish to salute our hosts. Thank you very much, Madam. And I enjoyed, and we enjoyed, and we will continue to enjoy during the day interventions that underline our perseverance, our insistence, our position that we want a better world. A better world is our goal, and this needs us to stand firm and to move on. Thank you very much.